The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercising before this one, and they're paying off.
Here's a throw. Puts it on the carpet. It's out, and the Falcons grab it. We know turnover margin always key, going to be really key in this one. And to force an opening drive turnover, that's huge.
It is, and you know something? There's one coach on every team that weighs in at the worst possible time, right? And this is bad. He just fumbled the football. Can't you just hear him right now? Son, you messed it up for everyone on that one. Messed up our offense, and now you put our defense in a bad spot.
Red, yellow. Hey, blue. On the ball. On the ball.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Hey, go steal. Ready.
They'll run with Patterson. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Hey, go serious. Ready.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Pass is tipped, but he's still able to bring it in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
All right, you and I both know that was a lucky play, but again, I give him credit. Going up on the tip and catching that one.
Stayed with it. Made his own luck, didn't he?
And he used his size there. Had a defensive back mentality to go up and get the ball on the tip, but used his size. I mean, tight ends going up and getting it, sometimes they can knock people out of the way and finish the play.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. He'll drop to throw. Looking there for puts, but intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So, Charles, you know, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media will start to obsess about it and wonder.
And it'll be intercepted. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Patterson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there.
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Yeah, he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And his pass incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And a long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. The try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch, by the way, kind of noteworthy. It's number 764 in his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer James Lofton.
And he's done it just as James Lofton did in his career. Smooth.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Herbert operating from the red zone. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw here, Herbert. Touchdown! Jalen Guyton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have moved out in front. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Bird to return from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Charger TD.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league.
And oh, it's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. 20, 10, 5. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Boy, at this point, I don't know what's going on down there. You got guys running one way on the pick-6, now running the other way to return the blocked extra point.
It's almost like that guy went this way, but the other guy went that way. And guess what? Both of them scored points.
Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. Finding room at midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Come on, set. You don't float. Hey, freeze. Stay.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Ready?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Real green. Doing black. Ready.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. Past the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Charger TD. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
Ready.
Back to throw again. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone, because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, Let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll look to throw here. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. He'll look to throw. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that's caught inside the 30. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Got it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Herbert now. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Set.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the pass.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Excellent play there by Arnold Ebiketie to meet him behind the line for a loss.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. Going back to Allen, he's got him again. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
They'll run for it with Eckler. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Trouble, 38. Trail, yellow. Slide through. Set.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. On the return, Carter. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through. And now here is another interception. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw a 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. Touchdown, Falcons! Cordero Patterson Patterson with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Falcons take the first turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. So there you go. They needed a big play, and they got one there on the touchdown run.
And that was a very important drive. Of course, they all are when you're trailing in the second half. But what I really liked, they didn't panic. They knew they still had time to run the football and keep playing their game.
Ritter will throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Herbert. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but no. Play, they say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 23. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Ready, set.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
69 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's the option. Running right. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 16 more on that one and another first down. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
3-3. Blue, go. Ultra. Go ultra. Cut, cut.
1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Falcons had scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From his end zone, here comes Carter. Oh, good-looking return set up here. The 40. DeAndre Carter. He will score. Touchdown, Chargers. So it's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Man, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, green. Right. On the ball.
He'll look to throw. Right back to Pitts again. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. They find some open field here. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Cordero Patterson, 50 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that is going to do it for this third quarter. Here's Koo to kick it off. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter, and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. It's Eckler again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Running on first down, Eckler. Taken down at the 42.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
A give, Eckler running to the right. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, Eckler. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on 3rd down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy.
Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Red. Black shot.
They'll drop the throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Patterson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Ready.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he's going to have a Falcons first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, you.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Third down, here's Patterson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Ready.
He'll drop to throw. Crossing route and complete. He's got Pitts. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35.
Black block. Opposite. Green.
Straight ahead, Patterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, Patterson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Ready.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Falcons, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week